we have a medical doctor.
The government's policy, as we speak now, is that every sub-county must have a health center 3. We have now increased the number of health center 3s, and we have so far added 400, which have been upgraded from health center 2s, and the others newly constructed. Under the new health structure, each health center 3 will have a medical doctor in the near future.
The ceremony was also attended by the Minister of Lands, Judith Nabakova.
And to the graduates, we ask you to be exemplary, be professional, love your job, and know that you have been called to serve. Don't be corrupted. At least act differently as you join your respective professionals.
In another development, the Prime Minister represented the President at the burial of the mother of Godfrey Chiwanda, Regina Namujuzi. Chiwanda is the NRM Vice Chairman of the Buganda region.
On behalf of the NRM government and on my own behalf, I send my sincere condolences and sympathies to you, Honorable Chiwanda, your family, and the people of Mityana at large for the loss of your dear mother.
Chiwanda was a member of parliament twice in Mityana North. However, several speakers voiced the need to have him back in the position currently occupied by MP Nsegumire, who is also an NRM member.
Mwe muyinza obutamanya maanyi twagamba nabbi takola ki tabala kitiibwa gyazaalwa naye ow'ekitiibwa mukama waffe ono mumanye nti you have gold in Mityana North.
Honorable Chiwanda ye muntu gw'osinkana naye obanga baba diployinza okukola naye n'olaba omukulembeze abawa essuubi. Omukulembeze abalengeza gye mukola ki gye mulaga. What does that mean? Ekyo kinzijukiza nti mama n'okuwa erinnya Ssuubi yamanya nti ono omwana akaliba akenda okalabira ku ki?
The late Regina Namujuzi died at the age of 70.
Senior lawyers Abdu Katuntu and Mukasambide have welcomed the Supreme Court's ruling that nullified the trial of civilians in military courts. The two lawyers praised the decision, emphasizing that the Supreme Court's directive for reforms, including amendments to the UPDF Act, is a step in the right direction. Let's have a look at those details.
In the case of Attorney General versus Michael Kabaziguruka, the Supreme Court judges ruled that military courts should no longer try civilians. In their judgment, led by Chief Justice Alphonse Owinidolo, the justices noted that military courts may not always ensure fair trials, as their judges are often not trained legal professionals.
Verifying that sections 2, now 1, 179, now 177, and 119(1)H, now 1171H of the UPDF Act are unconstitutional insofar as they, without qualification, allow for trial of persons subject to military law for civil offences within the General Court Martial and other military courts tribunals.
Other guarantees of justice and fairness in criminal proceedings are the right to a fair trial and the right to a fair hearing as stipulated under Article 28(1) of the said Constitution.
Senior lawyers Abdu Katuntu and Mukasambide have hailed the ruling as a positive development for civilian justice.
I think this is a fundamental decision taken by the Supreme Court of the land, the highest court in the land. It has redefined what we call military justice. That military justice or martial law is certainly for soldiers. But even then, it has advised reforms. It has advised reforms such that we amend the EPDF Act and bring it into conformity with the constitutional commands. So the court has been exactly succinct on the rights of any person available for trial, be it in the court-martial court or any other court of law. And it has guided that a court-martial that is established for purposes of adjudication, let it be established as one of the departments of the High Court of Uganda. It must definitely be manned or womaned by competent persons. And that is the only way justice can be seen by the reasonable persons.
The lawyers, who are also members of parliament, urged the military to respect the Supreme Court's recommendations, including appointing trained legal professionals as judges and amending the UPDF Act.
So we need a court established that is professional in nature, that has the competence to adjudicate by evaluation of evidence and therefore giving judgments that are not the subject of partiality. So the court shall be established, but let it be a department. Like we have got an international criminal law division of the High Court. It is there, which definitely would try cases that ideally would be tried by the International Criminal Court. But it is a division. It's not good. It's not only good for civilians, but also good for the soldiers. The court was so much concerned, especially the decision of the Chief Justice, about the competence of the people who administer justice. And that does not relate only civilians, but also for soldiers or servicemen who are appearing before them. So we will need qualification for somebody to preside over that court. Not judge advocates whose advice really may be taken or may not be taken by the court. So members of the court martial should actually be people qualified in the administration of justice, even for soldiers themselves.
The UPDF Act currently allows civilians who commit offenses alongside military personnel to be tried in military courts. However, the Supreme Court ruling now mandates an amendment to the provision. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
And furthermore, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, has officially declared her candidacy for the Lira City Woman Member of Parliament seat in the upcoming 2026 general elections. Amongi has now officially relocated her polling station from Oyam South to Senior Quarters A in Lira City, setting the stage for high-stakes contest against the incumbent, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, the nation's Minister of Health. Details in this report.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UCOSAF is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
We do beg your pardon as we proceed with the news tonight. The UPDF has launched post-Tarehe Sita celebrations in Kalungu district, focusing on strengthening community ties. The opening ceremonies held in Chamuliwa were graced by State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja. As the chief guest, he was welcomed by the Kalungu RDC, Dr. Paddy Kayondo, and other local leaders. More details in this report.
State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has vowed to combat land grabbing in Kalungu district and praised the UPDF for fostering freedom, which has driven economic growth, particularly in agriculture. This was during post-Tarehe Sita celebrations held in Kalungu district.
Mwebale nyo kwagala Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. ettaka Pulezidenti Museveni kye kintu kye yasooka okukolako. Naye kati mpulidde wano wegamba nti abantu babaga ku ttaka sebo nkole alipoota. Bwe baba nga ddala gye bali nja kujja n'amagye gange bwe naaba nga nzize nange agatamala wuuno kamanda ali wano ajja kumpa emmundu ezisingawo. Kamugagga once again nange natandise okulima emmwanyi era juzi nakatu katono nnyo bwe kati naye nakafunamu ensawo 10. Bannange bamagye mutukoze bulungi nnyo.
The commander, Ahmad Brigadier General Deus Sunday, represented the CDF, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. He highlighted the UPDF's role in liberation and maintaining strong community relations.
Tuli wano kubatukira banakalungu ate tubeyanjire tubategeeze ntino bye tukola mwe mubiganyiddwamu. Kano Rukundo kyababulidde ntino emabega ebiseera ebyo enkwatagana y'omuntu wa bulijjo n'omusirikale especially amagye teyali nyangu kasito omulengera bulengezi kakokola tondekawa tondeka nyuma si bwe kiri naye ennaku zino
The deputy chairman, Chamulimbwa Haj Isambago, urged President Yoweri Museveni to pave the Villa Maria Gombo Road as a gesture of appreciation for the UPDF's contributions.
Mbasaba mutuyambe mutukolere mukole oluguudo okuva wetwakoma tudde Masaka mututerewo kolas okutuuka ku Katonga Gomba.
The RDC, Dr. Pade Kayondo and Kalungu Deputy Mayor Irene Nanyanzi commended Dr. Mayanja's efforts to protecting landowners and Bibanja holders, urging his continued support for land issues in Kalungu.
Look at Town Council batuwadde ebintu bingi. Batumaliriza eddwaliro, bazimbye toilet ku landing site, batukoledde ebintu nga biwera.
Nzikiriza nkwebaza olw'emirimu egyo gy'okolera eggwanga naddala mu ministry emondi mu kigambo ky'okutaasa abantu abababiddwako abayiikiriziddwa mu bigambo bya ettaka.
The celebrations concluded with a friendly football match between the UPDF and Kalungu residents, symbolizing unity and friendship.
And furthermore, Uganda has facilitated the safe evacuation of United Nations personnel and their families from Goma. The operation, coordinated with various government departments, saw the arrival of nearly 1,600 evacuees in Uganda before their onward journey to Kinshasa. The majority of those evacuated are Congolese nationals, including women, children, and other dependents. More details in this report.
Relief was evident on the faces of the Congolese nationals as they arrived at the United Nations Entebbe camp. The 38 buses, carrying mostly women and children, have completed their first leg of their journey to Kinshasa. UBC TV was exclusively embedded with the convoy from the moment it entered Uganda. From Katuna to Mpigi and all the way to Entebbe Expressway, this was a journey of fasts for many. Yet, the relief on their faces as Entebbe came into sight spoke volumes. On arrival, the evacuees were screened and assessed. A small number of international staff will remain in Entebbe for a week as authorities determine their next steps. Pauline Jomo, the UN Director of the Regional Service Center in Entebbe, expressed gratitude to the government of Uganda, particularly the Uganda People's Defense Forces and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for their swift facilitation of the evacuation.
And I really want to thank the government and UPDF for providing the escort from the Chianika and the Katuna border up to Mbarara, and the military police from Mbarara to Entebbe. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs through the different departments have facilitated flight clearances. We have been obtaining flight clearances and clearance for them to get into the country in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Really grateful. It's an operation of saving lives. and the government have proven that they will always be there to save lives.
How many women, men, children? He further noted that chartered flights have been arranged to expedite the process.
By the end of tomorrow, they will all be gone to Kinshasa. Today at 12, we repatriated 141 to Kinshasa. Tonight at 9 p.m., Ethiopian Airline charter will be taking 261. And tomorrow morning we have a flight at 6:40, another one at 9 o'clock, another one at 10 o'clock. By the end of the day tomorrow, we will have taken all of them back to Kinshasa.
Authorities anticipate that an additional 500 individuals may require similar assistance in the coming days. Despite these efforts, a significant number of UN staff remain stranded in Goma due to security concerns that have hindered further movement.
From the UN standpoint, what you do, we have what we call program criticality 1, 2, and 3. Is your program still critical for you to remain? If it is not, you leave. Those who have critical operations remain behind.
The situation remains fluid, with both the UN and the Ugandan government closely monitoring developments to ensure the safety of personnel and civilians affected by the ongoing conflict. Sharon Chomjisha, Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Now, to refresh your mind a bit with a story aired earlier, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni spoke out in a two-page letter in response to Friday's Supreme Court ruling that nullified the trial of civilians in military court-martials. In his letter, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni maintains that civilians found in possession with guns or ammunition which are a preserve of the army should be tried in a military court-martial as deterrent to criminality. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, however, directed the Attorney General to study the ruling of the Supreme Court and advised on necessary adjustments.
Full inspection trips for wealth creation in Busoga and Lango. It is wonderful to see our village people waking up and using 1 million shillings of PDM and the Emyoga money to join the money economy with Echibaro, Chura, Aymar, and Otita. However, on getting back to Kampala, I was sorry to hear of the wrong decision by the Supreme Court in the matter of the firearms armed civilians being tried by the military court-martial. This is a method which we, the freedom fighters, support because it reinforces the civilian judicial system to defend the lives of our people against criminals armed with guns. If you are not a soldier, why do you arm yourself with guns and moreover for criminal purposes and illegally that are a monopoly of the armed forces? If you voluntarily acquire these guns, why should you complain when you are tried in a forum that deals with those matters when soldiers are involved? Nevertheless, according to the summary AG gave me on the phone, there appears to be some positive movement among our foreign-oriented judges even in this matter. First, Justices Chibita and Mojenyi sided with the logic that we, the simple people, understand and supported the guns-armed criminals being tried in the court-martial. Salutations to those two judges. Secondly, even the CJ ruled that the court-martial could be used if adjustments are done here and there. I salute that contribution. Even the others who ruled against us had some interesting comments that will be followed up that point towards the need for some rationalization in the procedure of trying civilians in the military courts. Somebody wondered why even a soldier should be tried in a military court for rape. We shall analyze all that. However, one of the aims of the military courts is to protect the army against crime and to ease procedures. How easy will it be to try soldiers who have stolen army rations in civilian courts because stealing is an offense in the penal code? Why not try them in the military court with a right to appeal to the higher national courts if you are not satisfied? The military courts helped us to discipline Karamoja. We cannot and will not abandon this useful instrument for stability. Civilian magistrates were even fearing to go to Karamoja. The military courts have pacified Karamoja and also saved the thousands of Karachunas, warrior youths that are now guests of the state in the prisons, who could probably be dead by now in their confrontations with the army. Anyway, the country is not governed by the judges. It is governed by the people, all of us Ugandans, that are old enough to vote. In the matter of the constitution and other legislations, we govern ourselves by having referenda or constitutional amendments or amendments of the laws by parliament. The judges interpret the laws. Let, therefore, the Attorney General propose the amendments to the constitution of the laws to help our judges in future from interfering with this useful self-protection instrument for the country, and also remove any irrationalities, if any. If jurisdictions in the Western countries can provide that a man can marry another man or a woman another woman, why can't ours provide that a criminally minded civilian that acquires a gun for criminal intentions be tried in a military court? Back to some of our judges. The rape, corruption, etc. cases are tried in the military courts to protect the institution of the army. The guns armed illegal operators should be tried initially in military courts to protect the society. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of Uganda.
And that brings us to the end of the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. However, do join us at 10 p.m. for a lengthier bulletin. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad on sign language, and thanks to the team behind the scenes. Up next is the weekly business roundup with Jerome Paul Sonko.
Wow.